Presenting the CW Crew.
Hey, it's Jordan with the CW Twin Cities. Very special treat for you today. We're talking with Karamo, coming off an electric season 1. He's back, he's better. Karamo, I appreciate you carving out some time for us today.
I appreciate you carving out time for me.
You know, Karamo, one of the many things I appreciate about you is your versatility. You know, you wear many hats, many identities, so to speak. And because of this, people relate to you. Not because they're doing exactly what you're doing, but because part of you represents them. What's that like?
It feels good because my only goal in life is to make people feel seen and know that they're not alone, and to know that they can get that life that they deserve. They can live that great life. You know, the way that my life has been designed, I shouldn't be sitting in this seat. You know, I have parents who came to this country super poor. They were not from this country. I'm first generation American. I grew up in low income neighborhoods, and you know, had struggle after struggle, from me, you know, identifying as gay and people denying me, and then me just trying to figure out my life. I had a learning disability. Like, I'm the product of what someone would say, this person is not going to have a happy life. This person is not going to have success. And I say, no, we all deserve that good life. We all deserve success. We all deserve happiness. And on my talk show, that's all what it's about. It's like people coming to say, this is the mess of my life. This is what's going on. And I say, great, I've heard it, I see it, and now let me help you get through it. And we did an amazing season 1 because people felt like I can see myself in him, and I know, you know, people can trust me. You know, I'm very authentic, and I talk about all of my struggles so that they know they're not alone. And so it feels nice to know that people trust me and that they can do it also 5 days a week.
And to that end, you've continued to help those in need. You've continued to find success. Season 2, viewership up. You know, what should people look forward to most about this upcoming season?
Well, we're going to be doing a lot of what we did season 1, but we're just going to be amping up a lot more. So, you know, we're going to be doing a lot more DNA outcomes. But also we're going to be following up with guests from season 1. There's a young woman that was on season 1 desperately searching for a father, and we bring her back for season 2. And fingers crossed, you know, I want people to watch the show, but you know, I made a commitment to her at season 1 that I would be on this journey to help her find closure and find family, and she's back. I do more unlocking the phones. You know, that's my signature segment, you know, because if they have questions about what's going on with their partner, what's going on with their kids, you know, I'm all about facts over feelings. If you need to know, I will definitely unlock their phone, and that's how you know the truth of what's going on. I heard you giggle, Jordan.
Absolutely.
Does this mean that you got something in your phone? Because Jordan, I'm going to come to Minneapolis and I'm going to lock your phone.
No, it's good, you know.
Jordan, you sure?
It's all clean.
I heard that
it's all
giggle
clean
in there.
over here.
I heard that giggle.
No.
Right.
Messy's getting trendy. I like to keep it clean.
Good. Me too. I believe that about you, Jordan. But, you know, I'm unlocking phones, and it gets wild. You know, we have an episode where, you know, people find out that other people have a completely separate lives because, you know, we have a former FBI agent on our staff who can find anything in the phone, and also find things that are deleted up to 5 years. And so, you know, we get more of that. We also have more families in crisis, mothers and daughters, you know, teens out of control that you'll see the passion, you'll see the pain, and then you'll see the breakthrough. And so it's just a really good time. We're having fun this season.
You know, in your memoir, there's a reoccurring theme of transforming lives and helping those in need. Have any of these relationships shaped you?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think that I am so empathetic. You know, like, my empathy went through the roof, which is really great. I've also become a lot more patient. And I say that with even my own kids, my own friends. I am constantly challenging myself to be better for myself, but also for them. You know, I check in. I'm no longer afraid of criticism. You know, I'm no longer afraid of, like, you know, of looking at myself in the mirror and saying, how do I need to be better? And that's because I expect it from my guests. And so I have to be the model for that. And anybody who's around me knows that every time I interact with them, I take a piece of their story and I learn, how can I learn from them so I can be better the same way they're learning from me? And so my guests make me better.
No, I love that. And I know you stem from a background in social services as well. You know, how does that carry over into the show?
Well, yeah, well, working in social services for over a decade, like that's my whole job was to make sure I'm helping people, to guide them, to help them. You know, when you're a social worker, your job is to make sure people have the resources, that you're looking out for them, that you're helping them to figure out what's going on emotionally and mentally so they can be better. And so that has been what I've done from when I was in high school, peer counselor, to all the way now to being a talk show host. It's always been a through line of like, you can transform your life. You can be better. And on my show, it's real people every day that when people watch my guests, they're like, oh, I know that cousin. Oh, I know that sister. Oh, I know that uncle. I know that aunt. Oh, that's my mom. And I love that because then they see me help my guests and they know how to help themselves and transform their own lives.
You know, we touched on it earlier, but this get messy, embrace the mess. Where did this come from?
Well, because you know what, there's very few talk shows that have real people on them anymore. A lot of them are celebrity driven. And a lot of times people look at those shows and they're like, oh, how could you ever go on TV and talk about what's going through? And I realize that is a stigma that not only happens on television, but it also happens in everyday's lives. You know, you have a family member that's acting a little different, out of order, wild, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, hide them. We don't want to, oh, don't invite them. And I think the problem with that is that what happens is then we start to isolate people who just are looking for love and support. And then people are not talking, they're not growing. And if that happens, then you see your family, you see people, it just becomes divided. And so for me, it was about, let's embrace the mess. Let's not be embarrassed of the mess anymore. Like, let me tell you something, and I equate this to a house. Anytime that your house is messy, you're like, no one's coming over. No one can see my house. And then you end up being alone. You end up being on this island with no one there to support you. But guess what? How about if you said, you know what, my house is a mess, y'all. Everybody come on over and let's try to help. I need a little help in this, clean this up. You're not only building community, but you're not feeling ashamed anymore. And that's what I want on my show. I want people to say, you know what, I'm inviting the world in because I don't mind being vulnerable so they can see my mess. And I know Karamo's gonna be there to help me clean it up.
Great actor, great host, great father, Karamo. Appreciate you greatly. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate you.
Be sure to check out Karamo weekdays at 9 on the CW Twin Cities.